Clarity Quest Day 2. So again, I am C.Jones here with you, and I am an author, a coach, consultant, and life clarity coach. And let's start with just so glad to see you. So glad to see you all. Come on in, like, share, tag. Clarity Quest. Let's go ahead and get clear tonight, guys. Let's do it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So let me remind you of what we started with last time, my definition of clarity. Clarity is knowing who you are, whose you are, what you carry, how to release it into the earth. Those things. Who you are, whose you are, what you carry, how to release it into the earth. All of that. Let's go ahead and get that. So last time, what we did was we started with some clarity keys, and I want to proceed with that. I want to continue with that. We'll give you some more clarity keys. Just to remind you, last week was week 1, and we looked at, our focus was getting clarity on who you are, and I reminded you that you are the asset. So the most important step to getting clarity is getting clear on you. I hope that some of you actually did have a chance to review the free gift that I gave, that I prepared for you, the playbook that I prepared. And I hope you had a chance to kind of walk through that, because that is really where you need to be. That part where you just can't get past. Excavating, what I call excavating the asset that is you. So hopefully you had a chance to take a look at that playbook. If you did not, I have tagged the actual link in the comments, so you can actually go there and take advantage of that process and take advantage of that playbook. There's no getting around that. You got to sit with yourself to get clarity on your life. You got to sit with yourself. So take some time to do that if you haven't. So where we want to go tonight, though. Tonight we want to go with the next part of the definition, which is knowing whose you are. That's where we want to sit. That's where we want to lean in tonight, very briefly. Knowing whose you are. Dr. Miles Monroe said it like this. He says, to know the purpose of a thing, ask the creator or the manufacturer of that thing. And one of my other mentors, Dr. Darius Daniels, he says it like this in his book, Your Purpose is Calling. He says, a calling requires a caller. A calling requires a caller. So here's what I want to say. There's something that we have to kind of really be clear on if you want to follow me with the remainder of this session. Have to be clear on this one fact. I am a woman of God. I don't apologize for that. So to understand the other things that I'm going to say tonight, that is a given. So the simple clarity keys for the night revolve around that. And the first one is this: to get clear on you, get clear on him. I told you I'm going to keep it real simple. Clarity has to be simple. To get clear on you, get clear on him. And then key number 2 is this: hearing clearly requires unclogging. All right, I'll say it one more time. Hearing clearly requires unclogging. So Neysa, what are you saying? What are you saying with all this? This is what I'm saying. We're talking about getting clear, getting clarity around who you are. Here's the thing: if God made me, this is what I say to myself. This is what I had to go through. If God made me, if I'm clear on that, then I must also understand that He had some things in mind when He made me. He did. I'm sure that the omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent one was not unclear. he had clarity, right? So here is the simple key. Rock with him. Lock in with him. Ask him to share his clarity with you as it relates to you. Simple. Ask him. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here's a caveat though. He is always sharing. I believe he's always sharing. He shares with nature. He shares with everything he created. I think he's always speaking. I told you to rock with me on this, and you gotta understand that part about me. That is what I believe, right? He's always sharing. The problem comes here though. Sometimes we're not clear enough to receive it, right? We're not clear enough to receive it. If we are unclogged, that means if we're not in the position to be that, what I call an unclogged conduit, then we won't be clear. In order to gain that clarity, we have to be connected. In order to gain that clarity, we have to be able to not only receive from him, but also transmit what he's given out. Right. Hey, Erica, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So let's lean in right there. Again, a calling requires a caller. All right. Again, we're talking about clarity, and this one key is being clear on whose you are. So another thing about me, I am an author, and I'm also an avid reader. I love to read. I love to glean from God's vessels, those that he is imparting wisdom into the earth through their words. And shout out to some very anointed authors that I actually have had the pleasure of working with, and I'm working with right now. Hi, Erica. That's one of them who's just joined, Erica. But shout out to authors like Deborah Lee, Randy Norman, Tasha Hayes, Dr. Kimberly Hickman, Dr. Dwayne C. Perry, Dr. Mary Connage, Avery Gamage. Listen, y'all, if you follow me on my page, these authors, I'm telling you, in this season, God is releasing a clarion call. He is pouring through just some profound wisdom, some profound gems through those authors that I just shared with you. So I'm actually going to share them on my page as we go. So when you see them, when you see their links, when you see their links, go ahead and jump on and hear what they got to say, because listen, powerful gems are being dropped. But tonight I'm going to lean in on a couple of authors, because these two are going to, I'm just going to use some of their exemplars to talk about those two keys. Remember, the one key is to get clear on, to get clear on you, get clear on him, right? To get clear on you, get clear on him. And the other one is hearing clearly requires unclogging. Those are the two keys tonight. So let's lean in real quickly to the first one. To get clear on you, get clear on him. The first author I mentioned was one of my mentors, Dr. Darius Daniels. He wrote a book called Your Purpose is Calling. Your Difference is Your Destiny. If you haven't picked it up, it's on Amazon, it's on several different places. So go ahead and pick that up and listen to it. But I want to just pull out a couple of quotes that he shared that really speaks to and really unpacks the key of to getting clear on, to get clear on you, get clear on him. And he says, a calling requires a caller. In our case, it requires a creator. It's not difficult. I told you, if you're going to rock with me on this one, you got to know this one fact. I am a woman of God. Okay, that is a given. That is an assumption that we have to follow. If you're following what I'm saying here with this clarity quest, he didn't make it difficult. He's clear on who he is. He's clear on how he made me. So listen, can you just give me the cheat sheet, Jesus? Download it. Let me know. So Darius Daniels, he in his book, he actually talks about that a lot. Here are I'm just going to share a few quotes, and then you can go get the book. I'm all about supporting oily vessels. He says, He defines calling as God's invitation for your participation and the reason for your creation. Another thing he says is God is calling you for the reason of your participation, not rumination. Get moving. He wants you to do something, right? Another thing he says is your calling is God's invitation to participate in what he is already doing. So here's the thing about clarity. Sometimes we think that we have to, hi Janessa, nice to see you. Sometimes we think we have to kind of make stuff up. We have to kind of really discover and decipher what it is that we should be doing. When really, if you are clear on whose you are, he already knows that. So just ask him. Just ask him. Lean in and ask him, right? And then the other thing he says, it is tied to who you are at the core, to your unique identity. And with this, what I like, what that part said to me when I read that part, what that said to me is, when if you're talking about being connected and being in tune with the Creator, the one who called you, he so wants us to get this, that he has left indicators for us, and the indicators are actually embedded in us. How we are created are clues as to what we are to be doing. He equipped us to do certain things, how we think, what we like, what our talents are, what our inclinations are, what wakes us up in the morning, what drives us are indicators. They are part of what he calls our unique design, and they point us to what we should be doing. They clarify for us. Now, what does it also mean? That means we have to really go all the way back to even day one and really sit with that, who we are, excavating that asset. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around spending time with you. There's no getting around really getting still and understanding what makes you tick, understanding what makes you what drives you, understanding what excites you, also understanding what frustrates you, what agitates you, right? He talks about that in the book too. I won't give away all the stuff in the book because you got to go buy the book, but I do want to point that out. Now the other part is key number 2. I'm going to lean in here with the remainder of my time, because this is actually a book that I wrote, Unclogged Conduit. So clarity key number 2 is hearing clearly requires unclogging. Hearing clearly requires unclogging. So in my book, I shared this. I get messages from friends and colleagues all the time, and they call me with their, what I call frustration quotient on 10. That means highly frustrated, very, very frustrated. And the source of that frustration is varied. Comes from different sources. I hear things like, it's been so long since I preached a sermon, the inspiration just isn't there. I hear things like, particularly from my writers that I coach, this writer's block is intense. I just can't seem to find the words. Frustration, right? Here's another one. I have an incredible business idea. This is for my entrepreneurs. I have an incredible business idea, but no startup capital. So what's the point of even dreaming? Clog, right? Here's one for my mature women, or my older generation. I have so much life experience to share, but I'm a nobody. Who wants to hear me? And hearing that defeat in their voices uniquely agitates me, because I can sense the promise. I can sense the vision inside of them. But what is stopping them? The same thing that stops all of us. Clogs. And I go on to describe in this book 2 different kinds of clogs. There's because God is always speaking. Remember, he's clear on his message. He's clear on what he wants to get in the earth. He's clear on who he wants to get it through. He's always speaking. He's always creating. He's always resolving. But what's stopping the flow Because he's using people. He's using us to do that, right? So why can't he get it through us? So the flow stops, and the clog can occur in two different places. It can two different points in the process. A clog can occur when things can't get in, and also a clog can occur when things can't get out. So when things can't get in my book I call it receptor clog. You can't receive the message. You can't receive the answer. You can't receive the resolution. You can't receive the clarity. Everything is too loud. The world is too loud. The bills are too loud. Life is lifing too hard. You can't receive it. And here's the other point where the clog can occur. Maybe you received the download, you have the book inside, but you can't get it out. Transmitter clog. Hi, Dwayne Perry. Hi. That's one of my coaches. He has an amazing books by the way too, guys. Make sure you get those. It can't get them out. That's a transmitter clog. So, Neysa, what's the resolution though? Here's a resolution. Let me share this with you as well. When God downloads into a conduit who understands the assignment, who has clarity, there is no clog slowing down that process. There is no clog blocking the reception or the transmission. How do we gain that clarity though? How do we move? How do we navigate without those blocks? And I told you I'm going to keep it simple because it is simple. We have to remain connected. Dr. Miles Monroe said it like this, again, to know the purpose of a thing, ask the Creator. To get clarity, to get that clarity that He has, there's no getting around spending time in His presence. Because that causes us to get still enough to receive His downloads. Without a thriving connection to the source of all things, we can't deliver. We can't be clear on anything. That's a simple fact. That's it. I wish I could. I'm sorry if you thought I was going to give you these just out of the cloud epiphanies, but no. Clarity is simple because he keeps it simple because he wants us to get it. He wants us to get it. So what's the resolution? Reconnect. The problem arises when there is a disconnect. So clarity is lost at the point of disconnection. That's where it's lost, at the point of disconnection. So reconnect. Reconnect to who? Reconnect to the one who gave the clarity. Reconnect to the one who gave the call. It's simple, but it requires effort. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. I wanted to share with you those clarity keys. Again, we talked about last time who you are. Today we talked about whose you are. Next week we're going to talk about, or the next time I come on, we're going to talk about getting clarity on what you carry. Because there is so much inside of each of you that God is waiting to push out. And it's not just for you. It's for you. It's for those who He has connected to you. Because He has work to do. Right? He has work to do. He has gems to write. He has books to download. I refer to books a lot because that's a passion of mine. I walk along some incredible authors who are, oh my God is pouring so much through them in this season. So wherever that is for you, that's where we want. That's what we want to. That's what we want to get out. All right. So thank you all for joining. Again, if you did not get that playbook that I shared with you, go ahead and get that because, again, you can't get around that first step. And then we're going to go to the next step, and then we're going to go to the next one. All right. Love you all and see you next time for day 3 of Clarity Quest.